Hey everybody, who's your Jedi here with another review for you. This time talking episode 9 of season 2 of Legends of Tomorrow, Raiders of the Lost Art. I know it's been a while. Of course, if you've not been paying attention to my channel, just so you know, I've actually moved to Japan. That's where I am right now. It took me a painfully long time to get internet set up at my apartment and it's other issues. Plus, new country, new job, lots of things on the plate. But I'm trying to get things back on track. So let's get started. Um, all in all, I wasn't really a huge fan of this episode. There just seemed to be a lot of weaknesses in the story, and honestly, at times it just felt like the episode was trying too hard to be cute, to put it bluntly. My main problems with this episode were just basically what was going on with Malcolm and Damien. Where, I mean, these are two seriously bad dudes. I mean, they were the big bads of two different seasons of Arrow. And here, they're, in a way, kind of a comedy duo. I mean, having these guys kind of bounce off each other and have a few little funny interactions is all well and good. But they just come across here as like some goofy henchmen rather than major figures in the Legion of Doom. It was kind of funny when Malcolm was talking like, hey, well, let's take a little while to go and see Frank Sinatra's star on the Walk of Fame. I've always wanted to do that. I'm like, okay, that's cute. But stuff like they're standing in front of on top of the trash compactor, with everybody down there, and George Lucas finds the frickin' part of the Spear of Destiny, and even though they're mere feet away, they do not see or hear this. And there's the whole thing with them. We're like, okay, we're trying to do this thing. You would think they would have a little bit more discretion. That like, okay, we've got these annoying people, the heroes. Who are going to try to interfere with us. So maybe we should keep a little bit of a low profile. Now, them killing a biker who would actually have an impact on history. Okay, there's no way for them to have known that. But murdering an entire station full of cops, like, that's the sort of thing that was definitely gonna, create some notes in history. Then again, this show has always played pretty fast and loose with, like, hey, what the heroes just did, or the villains in this case, should seriously have altered history. So I guess we have to allow that one. But it really bugs me that two guys who are major, like, experienced members of the League of Assassins can't don't think that they can kidnap a guy from a police station, subtly, without attracting a great deal of attention. I mean, it really does say something about Malcolm's character, for example, that he just and Damien's, they just kill all these cops just because they can. But, these are people who are presented as extremely intelligent bad guys who, are pretty serious about their plans. Not above making mistakes, but not being idiots about it most of the time. Again, most of the time. So, yeah. And, of course, it was also extraordinarily convenient that Fawn didn't show up until the very last minute because, of course, being a speedster, he could have searched the entire dump in about 3 seconds. Also, how in the world did they know that the trash bag was going to be in that trash compactor? How would they know that? Never mind, if I remember correctly, when George Lucas threw the stuff away, it wasn't actually in a trash bag, it was in a box. So, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff here that really feels very poorly written. Now, I would give the show credit. They didn't say that, George, not being inspired by the George Lucas movies, made Nate or Ray any less intelligent. No, that wouldn't be possible. That's like nature. Nature determines, and, the amount of intelligence a person is born with. It explicitly even says that they just simply didn't live up to their potential. I mean, Ray, he's a mega genius. He still became a heart surgeon, which is no small feat. A little disappointed they went with yoga instructor for Nate, but again, it's all about he didn't really live up to his potential. But just the way they had it here made him come across as just dumb. I mean, there's a difference between not living up to your potential and just suddenly, like, you're suddenly stupid. Yeah. Um, Still, I mean, there were definitely some good highlights in this episode. Arthur Durrell being able to put on that American accent and act like a messed up loser dude from the '60s, that was pretty hilarious. That was honestly the best part of this episode. Also, better stuff with Stein and Nick. Um, Here, I do have to complain a little bit that Mick, like, yeah, you're a doctor, and Stein going, not a medical doctor, and Mick being like, well, fix me anyway. Look, Mick's not an educated guy, but he's not stupid either. Okay, I mean, it just seemed very odd to me that he would, try and basically strong arm a physicist into performing brain surgery on him. I mean, and granted, a lot of that was just because Stein knew what was going on, so okay, might as well run with it. But still, I really do expect better from this show. I will also give the show credit for poking fun at itself for the way they talked about the actor playing Vandal Savage in Phil's movie. Quite a few people were not fans of Casper Crump's performance as Savage. I liked him, but I can freely admit that his performance was not going to be everybody's cup of tea. And of course, it's hard not to be amused by there being a little bit of a nod to them flat out mentioning Howard the Duck. Okay, I have actually watched that movie, and yeah, it's really good. It is also fun to remember that this is not the first time that they've referenced stuff from Marvel as a thing that exists in the CW verse. It was like what last season on Arrow, Thea had a comment where she more or less referenced the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then like the producers of the show said, yeah, as far as we're concerned, the Marvel movies exist in the Arrowverse. And of course, if the Marvel movies exist in the Arrowverse, then it only stands to reason that Marvel Comics does as well. And this is a little bit of a tradition in between Marvel and DC. They sort of have the idea that the other companies' comics exist as fiction in their respective universes. I even remember an issue of X Factor where Multiple Man flat out mentions Batman, not as a person, but as like a movie character. So that was cute. Let's see. We also had some nice stuff. I mean, Sarah was doing a pretty good job here as a leader, and I like that it has really dawned on her. It's like, oh wow, I really screwed up when I gave the bad guys that. And I mean, it's hard not to be very amused by the fact that, okay, yeah, they officially said the name the Legion of Doom. And then Nate explains it as the name of some bad guys from an old Hanna-Barbera cartoon he watched as a kid. Now, of course, this is a reference to the old Super Friends cartoon that a lot of people watched back in the day. This is all where things like the Hall of Justice comes from. And they've cribbed quite a few things over the years from Super Friends. I mean, Wendy, Marvin, and Wonder Dog actually popped up as characters in the comics, albeit poorly received ones in a storyline in Teen Titans that really was pretty bad. But anyway, yeah, I really do think that kind of covers everything I had to say about this episode. It just really kind of feels like this episode, the writing was weak, and like I said, it just sort of felt like at times they were just trying to be too cute with like, oh, look at how funny Damien Dark and Malcolm Merlin are. Oh, and speaking of which, did anyone notice, since we're talking about Star Wars, that apparently Merlin and Dark have been taking shooting lessons from stormtroopers, because when everybody's climbing on the Wave Rider, these two guys, League of Assassins dude, Merlin, an experienced and badass archer, a guy used to aiming with ranged weapons, can't hit the broadside of a barn for... yeah. So not terribly happy with this episode. Um, and of course, the whole thing with one exception, they constantly refer to George Lucas by his full name. So a little bit of a thumbs down on this episode. With that said, guys, I'm going to call it here. As always, thanks for dropping by. Until next time, please comment, rate, and subscribe, and take care and have a good one.